Alright, I'm going to make a video on the ticking on your actuator. You have to figure out where on this side, the driver's side or the passenger side, which one is ticking or clicking, whatever you want to call it. And the ticking comes from the climate controls are not calibrated. And that usually means that you either let your battery die from sitting too long, or it just died because it was no good, or you disconnected the battery and you didn't have your climate controls in a neutral position. The neutral position is off. You can see it's off here, 12 o'clock here, and 12 o'clock here. You have to do that, especially if you take your car to the dealer. The dealer's just going to unplug the battery. So when they plug the battery back in, your actuators are going to be messed up. They're not going to be able to calibrate. Every time you get in the car, it calibrates itself for whatever reason. But I fixed this. What I'm going to show you guys is I had one that's the most common one for the blend door that's up here really high. There's two over here. There's one lower and then one higher. The higher one is the most common one that does the clicking. It doesn't necessarily mean the actuator is bad. It just means it's out of alignment. So what you're going to do is you're going to put power to the actuator. You're going to take the actuator out and put power and spin the knob or the teeth a little bit in sequence, or not sequence, but in increments, until you get it to line up where you could put on the actuator nice and neat, and it'll just go on, versus trying to force it on there. It's not going to work because it's not calibrated. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. This time, I let my battery sit for too long without starting my car for like 3 weeks. I went on vacation, and I don't know if you can see that, but let me see. I'm not going to be able to show it, but it's that orange little connector. What that's connected to is the actuator. That's the actual actuator. Let's see. The actuator. Well, I'll have to show you guys in a second, but it's where that orange thing is. It's connected. There's, I think, 3 or 4 screws to it. You got to take those off and pull it out, and I'm going to show you how. Listen, that's what it's doing. It's clicking. I was going to show you guys. Hold on. It's this one right here. Like I said, where the orange thing is. I'm going to try to get it to tick again. There it is. It's ticking. I messed with the climate controls, and it did it in the vehicle on accessory mode. So I'm going to turn these off and put them at neutral. See, they're at neutral right now. I'm going to take this off now. I'm going to remove these things to make it easier. They just kind of pull out or whatever, like little clips on there. I'm going to yank these 2 off. There's 2 of them, so I can get better access to that, and I'll show you that. Right where that orange thing is connected to the black. The orange connector. And like I said before, your actuator is probably not bad. It just needs to be aligned right, and we're going to do the alignment by putting power to it. I don't think the polarity matters on it when I put wire to it. I'm going to hook it up to the battery by itself, and I'll show you how to do that. But don't worry about buying an actual actuator, because it's probably not that. It's just the clicking is it's trying to force it to go, and it's not going anywhere. So, but if you have a bad actuator, then that's different. It's just spinning with the teeth busted off. Mine's were just clicking. Clicking means that it's fine. You just need to calibrate it. You can go to the dealership for $200 for them to look at it, and then $200 for them to fix it. So that's at least $400 you're going to pay for them to do a job like this when you can do it yourself. It's a little tedious task because the little screws, you can lose them, and you don't want to lose those. They're actually they're hex head, or I think they are hex, but I actually changed them to a flathead screwdriver the last time I messed with it. So to make it easier for me to get in there, but we'll see what happens. Try this first before you actually go and buy an actuator. And don't buy cheap actuators if you're going to buy one, if you need one, but you don't need one if you hear it clicking. That means the teeth are still intact and it's trying to spin, and that means it's good. If you don't hear the spinning and it's not moving your blend door or whatever door that you're trying to open up. This is for the fan, for this box right here. This is the fan that is connected to it. It releases the air, and that's basically this one for the heat, hot or cold. So don't buy an actuator if it's clicking until you try this. And the way you get this off is use your nail to pull it's got like a little, pull the red up to release it. So you can see it's sticking up now. It's sticking up. And then you pinch it. See, you raise this up and you pinch it to pull it out. Okay, you can see that I got everything clear out of the way. I got a light in there to make it easier. And here's the actuator. Now I just got to get the screws. I believe there's only 3 screws. I only put it on with 2 to make it easier if I had to pull it out, because this is just a common problem with fucking cars and shit. Actuators are bitches. There's a screw up on top. There's another one at the bottom. There's supposed to be one right here on the right side of it, but I didn't put it in because I didn't need to. Alright, I got it out. So what we're going to do, there's those 2 little connectors. We're going to put power and ground under there and spin this. If you look, there's lines right there. It's supposed to match up. This is not matched up with right there. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I'm going to figure it out and spin it around. And I lied about changing the bolts on this side. I did it for the upper one that's way up high inside here on the driver's side. Like I said, there's a lower actuator, and the blend door is up high. It's right next to like the heater core line. To get these off is a T15, Torx 15, so make sure you have one of these. And it really helps if you get the kit that has a little holder for this and a small little ratchet. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get into any of those. You can't use big tools at all. You're going to be screwed. So make sure you get you something really small and tiny as you can get. And with the connector to connect this onto there, like so. Like that. And you're ready to rock. You're going to need some jumpers to spin this. You're going to put power onto those little prongs right there. There's 2 of them. You can see them. You're going to connect the power to power on the battery and power or ground on the ground of the battery. And this will spin. And you want to line it up with those 3 lines that are going up, I believe. I could be wrong. It might need to go down more. It just depends on how uncalibrated your system is. Okay, and I put it back on for a second without bolting it up but connecting it. I feel the actuator wanting to lift this way, so I definitely need to spin this little part raise. If you look, there's a gap, and probably put it on that hole right there, because it's trying to close the door, the flap. So I'm going to put that in there and I'm going to test it again. Okay, I got my jumpers connected. I got one right there, and then I got the other one, the ground one, pinched inside there. And that's what I'm going to use to put on these right here. Okay, got that one connected. I'm going to see if I can tap this. You can watch it move. Oh, there it did. It moved a little bit. See it? I'm going to rock that and see what happens. Now I'm just going to install it again and connect it, but not bolt it up. I'm just going to leave it in there like this, put it in there, hold on to it because it's not bolted up, and then turn on my fan and move my climate control knobs a little bit to get it to tick, if it's going to tick. If it doesn't tick, this just was off course, and it needs to be in between those 2, the gap. See how there's a gap? And the teeth are way closer. That's the gap telling you in those lines. It's got to be in between that. So let's see what happens. Okay, I got it on there now. I'm going to turn accessory on. Hit it twice. Let's see what happens. Hold on to it. Okay, I'm gonna turn the fan on now. Move it. Oh, it's still ticking. Okay, so we're gonna move it again. It actually moved it back, and I had moved it forward, so I'm not sure what the deal with that is. But I'm gonna move it again. I'm gonna try that now. What I'm gonna do is just keep moving it in increments of a quarter inch maybe, and hopefully that's gonna work until I find the sweet spot. Okay, I'm gonna hit accessory. 1, 2. See if it does anything. I feel it moving inside. Now I'm gonna turn the fan on. Move the knobs. Okay, it's still ticking. That's wrong. Okay, turn it off. Sounds lighter though, so it's getting towards its right position. Okay, it's still in the same position that I put it in, so let's see what happens when I move it again. Small. Might be too much though. Okay, I got it back on. Accessory twice. Turning my fan on. Oh, I only hit it once. Okay. I'm gonna move the. Oh, it's not ticking. It's not ticking. I think I fixed it. There it was. Wow. So you guys could do this. Super stoked on that. So just play with it and make sure you use your jumpers in the back. I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna turn it back on again. You can hear it making noises as it closes. It's not ticking. So I'm pretty sure that I fixed it. Let me try it again just to be sure. Make sure. Turn it on hot. That's right, bitches. Get some, get some. I want some, I got some. You can hear it making noise. I fixed it. I'm gonna tighten it down now. Boom! You can buy some jumpers off Amazon, like 25 bucks or something for some decent ones like these. But this one, it came from a voltmeter. I just made it into one to make it work. It's totally different. I cut the tip off for that goes in the voltmeter, and then this is good for the ground to stick in just anywhere in that little crevice. This one, of course, is double-sided hooked, or clamp, excuse me. And I have the other black one, but it won't fit inside that actuator when you're trying to put it in there. That's why I kind of was tapping it. But that's how you fix it, basically. And you can do that for anyone. There's 2 here. I think there was 2 here, but I only see 1. I forget. There might be 2 and 2 on each side. But like I said, make sure that when you take your car to the dealership to have them work on it, they always unplug the battery. Have your climate control knob on off, 12 o'clock, and 12 o'clock. That's the neutral part of it. It leaves it neutral so that all the vents are in the neutral position and not all cockeyed. And when the battery is disconnected, your shit goes haywire and it's not calibrated anymore. So we just calibrated it basically. And like I said, you could do it on the 2, especially the blend door, the high one. Make sure if you're going to do the blend door, that's the most common one that people are going to look at this at, is there's a lower one that you think, oh, that's it? No, it's not. Go higher. It's really high. It ain't no fun to get to that one up there. That's why I put a flathead screwdriver for these screws instead of these ones. These are Torx 15. They're a bitch. Serious bitch. You're going to have to move some stuff out of there to get to that blend door, the highest one. Like I said, you guys are going to, people are like, oh, you didn't do the blend door one. I don't need to. I already did that one. So we're good with that. Just rotate it like I showed you in the video, and you'll be fine. You saw what it was doing. I did that within the last hour. It's not that hard. And especially if you've done it once, you could do it again. But if it's your first time, anything's tricky. It's just the way it is. You guys got this. If you leave your car sitting for a long time, make sure it's a neutral position, off 12 and 12 o'clock. Don't ever mess that up because it will mess your system up and you'll have to do this. You don't want to do this. But if you can do it, you save yourself about $400. No joke. You really will save yourself about $400 on not taking it to the dealership. Dealership will charge you $200 for the first hour and probably $200 for the next hour. That's what they charge in Torrance or Los Angeles County. The average is about $200, $175 to $200. They wanted to quote me $200 to even just touch my shit. No thanks. I do my shit myself. Please like and subscribe. I got a bunch of stuff on Challengers. I got some airbag stuff. I got some suspension stuff. I two-tone my Challenger. I got a video on that on how to paint it. I got a couple videos on air suspension if you're looking for air suspension. Please like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video and I hope this helps somebody out. You got any questions? Hit me up. I'm down to help out, man. Always. You got to help a fellow brother from a Mopar. This would probably work with any Mopar doing the actuators. It's a common problem. Alright guys, be cool. This date is December 8th, 2023. Over and out.